This is Ultimate General Civil War on Brigadier General difficulty, and we're about to fight South Mountain. This can be a very costly battle, but I imagine to get 11 to 1 and only lose 625 men because I don't go after the enemy at the end. The enemy is in very good positions at the very end of this battle, and I let them go. So my army is well equipped. Average size of my infantry is 1,200, 350 for the skirmisher sniper units, which is perfect. Good weapons, 24-pound howitzers, 20-pound Parrotts, have a battery of Jameses. Um, yeah, army's in good shape. Notice I have a 2-star general in charge of the JF Browns. That's because I want the command line to be as close to the efficiency line as possible, and I have to have a 2-star to do that. You want the command line to be, if at all possible, greater than the efficiency line. So what I'm doing, or you suffer a debuff. This is a ballast division. My 3rd corps is a ballast corps, not division. What I'm doing is I'm looking for officers that are near promotion. So I'm moving units, commanders around. If they have, I want to make sure that the command line is greater than the efficiency line, and the guys going into battle are near promotion, so I can get as many promotions as possible. My inventory of 55s is looking great. I actually have really good inventory of everything. I have $700,000, 88,000 men in raw recruits ready to go that I'll never touch, and piles of inventory ready to go for Antietam. So yeah, it's looking great. Everything's in great shape. And we outnumber the enemy, and if you're patient and cautious in this battle, you can do very well. So what I want to show you here is when I have a lot of men to deploy and the game spreads them all over a big area, what I do is I take them all off and then I put them on by division. So I apply each division one at a time, and so there's 4th Division. I'm going to apply 4th Division first. I just place the units on the map and then move them to where I want them. So there they are. Now they're all together. And I keep saying that I think there is some correlation between how much your divisions are spread out and losing division commanders. There probably isn't. It's just intuition. But it sure is easier to maneuver your units around if the divisions are together, because then you can just click on the division icon and tell the entire division to go somewhere, and that's very handy, particularly in big battles. So it doesn't take any time, and your army is organized. I never ever click the commander and the supply wagon off, because sometimes they can count against your number of units if you have reinforcements coming in. So, okay, broke off some detached skirmishers, move everybody forward. Again, all this is on double speed because, yeah, you can see what's going on. So detached skirmishers give me greater visibility of the battlefield. Also, I want to send a very light force up around the enemy's right flank, my left flank, and get into the woods behind the enemy. So my objective is to move. The light force will screen and take over a lot of territory, and my infantry will follow then safely and not have to fight my entire way across that very large forest. So yeah, this all works out very well, actually. So the enemy is in open terrain, and what I'd really love to do is bait the enemy into charging into the water. That would be ideal. I really don't want to run my guys right up to the river's edge. I want the enemy to charge into the water, and I'd like to catch him there if at all possible. So I have 20-pound Parrotts, and we already see enemy guns, so we can start targeting the enemy guns right away. Now your long range, well, all of your weapons, but particularly this is important for long range guns. My long range guns are getting a 30% debuff because they're firing out of woods, the ones that are in woods. So if I move them up into a place where there's no woods, where they're just in the open, they will do 30% more damage. And that's important to know. For my howitzers, which are going to be right up on the front line, taking pass-through damage, I need those guys to be in the woods and in good cover all the time. So, yeah. So the enemy's charging. That's terrific. I have my guys fall. I don't want my detached skirmishers to fall back or to fire. I want the enemy to keep charging into the water. And as soon as they hit the water, I'm going to make them pay. So that's terrific. Unfortunately, on Brigadier General, the enemy units are fragile, so they take one volley and they stop. On Major General, the thing that's really cool is, on Major General, that infantry unit would have charged into the water and just stayed there and stood there and died. I mean, that really is a lot more fun. So, I kind of have the enemy flanked here with my infantry. I want to get my infantry up on the wood line, into good cover, and I'm kind of surprised at how, I'm kind of on his flank of that position. He has guys all kind of lined up. Um, and my infantry can actually run in behind his infantry and artillery at the map, kind of to the left as you're looking at the screen. So, yeah, that happened a lot easier than I thought it would. So on the far left of the map, I'm not editing anything out. On the far left of the map, everything's going splendidly. I expect to bump into his skirmishers or his cav in the wooded area on the far left of the map. But so far I haven't seen anything. And I'm looking at the strategic map right now as I'm moving these individual units. I'm keeping an eye on the strategic map in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen to see if any red dots pop up, and there are some red dots. So I'm targeting my infantry and my snipers, but if you look at the strategic map, I see red dots, and then I, of course, move left, and I move my screen to the left so that I can then give orders to my units. So I'm playing the game right now on the slowest speed, but I've doubled the speed for playback. And I think that slowing the game down when a whole bunch of stuff is going on is a really good idea. And if you're going to issue orders to all of your units, then you might as well just hit pause and just give everybody orders. But if there's a lot going on and you don't need to hit pause, I found that I really like just setting it on the slowest speed, which you can see the setting in the bottom right. And then when I play the video back, I'm playing it back at double speed. So yeah, that gives me plenty of time. It improves the video quality because the battle, I don't have to hit pause very often because I have plenty of time to give individual orders to my units. So yeah, the skirmishers on the far left, I wanted them to form a solid line and then push everything in front of it so nothing got behind my line. So the beauty of, I do that a lot. I'll form a solid line of troops and secure one section of the map like the far left, and then sweep everybody in a broad front forward. Yeah, that's particularly handy if there's a victory location behind your line, because the enemy will always try to sneak someone around your line and steal a victory location. But I don't want his infantry getting behind my line and fiddling with my artillery or supply wagons either, so yeah. My long-range guns do not have to move as long as targets are in range. His artillery is in range, and the reason is the greater the distance, actually, the more damage my guns are doing. So, yeah, as long as there's an artillery to shoot at, my guys don't have to move. They can just sit back there. It's not like moving closer will do any good. Moving into an open area, that would do 30% more good, but I'm just going to sit where they are and take shots. So as much as possible, I want my detached skirmishers to take any canister shots from his artillery, not my infantry. That really hurts if your infantry takes canister. It's not so bad if your detached skirmishers take the shot. So, yeah, and I keep finding isolated units up here to the north. Yeah, that big wooded area on the left side, that's all gone really well. Now, I don't expect what I've kind of gotten in the habit of doing with my cav. Your cav is best at 350 in size. So I'll make it 360 because cav is very fragile. If it gets hit by anything, you'll lose a lot of men. So I figure it'll get hit and it'll drop down to 350 and be ideal. But I move the cav quickly somewhere, and if they're rifled cav, then I dismount them. And they do twice the damage if they're dismounted. So if the enemy's fleeing, then I just keep them mounted so they can keep the pressure on. Because look how much faster the cav moves than the skirmishers. And that's the real advantage of the cav. So, yeah, these JF Browns, man, they're monsters. Tremendous range, tremendous killing power. And enemy units just do not like JF Browns hitting them in the flank. So, okay, I've pretty much secured that entire wooded area with detached skirmishers. My infantry, I want to get infantry over there. And my initial plan was just to take the woods and stop. But this battle's going really well. So I'm notice how I'm moving everybody up in the center to the edge of the wood lines. Then I wait. This is something I do that other people don't. Most other players would just charge right now. The enemy's in the open, so just charge infantry out into the open after the enemy. I'm not going to do that. I want the enemy to just sit there and have a nice time while I roll up my artillery and unload canister on those guys. I'm going to start shifting my infantry over to the left. I have plenty more infantry that's going to feed the line on the right is going to shift over to the left. And everybody's just going to kind of shift left and occupy this a great big this wood line where I get lots of cover, move my artillery forward, and just have just a terrific defense line. And if he wants to charge, I'll be real happy to take that. On Major General, he probably would charge, but on or Major General he would. Legendary he certainly would. Brigadier General, it's a toss-up. Might charge, might not. If he does, he won't last very long because the infantry and artillery is going to hit him and he's going to rout. So, which is unfortunate. I'd like for him to step forward and stand and take a few shots. That would be a lot more fun. Yeah, we have an hour and 27 minutes to go, and yeah, no problem. I'm in no hurry to take the flag because I'm pretty sure there's a countdown timer. I'm looking at the time, it says 1900. When it gets to be 2030, my screen is going to go pretty much black anyway, so basically I have an hour and 24 minutes at the most in game. And but I really would just as soon not be in a hurry to take the flag. But if I trip it, that's okay, because pretty much I'm happy right now with how things have gone. I don't intend to milk this for every single kill possible. The area to the far north, the enemy will end up there, and if you go in there after them, you're just going to take a lot of unnecessary casualties. I've lost a lot of men in this battle, and I've watched other people lose a lot of men in this battle unnecessarily. My goal is to get a high kill ratio, kill as many of the enemy as I can, kill easily, not go into the woods trying to kill every last one of them, but to be effective and to come out of this with my army in very, very good shape for Antietam. That's my goal. And I was able to do that. So My army only lost, what was it? Yeah, 625. So yeah, there wasn't. I don't think there was any unit that took a lot of casualties. So we come out of this in great shape. So normally I'd be a little bit concerned about driving down the enemy's total manpower pool, but I know that Antietam is going to be a slaughter. I'm going to get them all, and always do, on Brigadier General or Major General. It's a pretty easy Union victory. The secret is, not surprisingly, the enormous amount of really good artillery that you have. And actually, this game I bought so many good guns, more guns than I normally do. I mean, I'm loaded. I have James, um, Whitworths with their enormous range, 20 Ps, 20 Parrots, 24 howitzers. I mean, just loaded with good guns. And yeah, with the quality of rifles, well, everything. I mean, the quality of sniper weapons, the quality of everything that I have. Um, and I've also taken my best troops and really leveled them up as much as I possibly could. And they come in first at Antietam, and Antietam's going to be a really, really good battle. In fact, actually, I have the numbers here. Yeah, 14 to 1. So, with with my scruffy troops doing a great deal of the fighting and getting a lot of experience. So, yeah. Well, I think my artillery just wiped that unit out. So it looks like I might be able to encourage these guys to attack across that open field. That would be great. My skirmishers are causing him all kinds of headaches. Um, on my left flank. So, yeah, that's going really well. Yeah, all of his units in that big open area, they're getting torn up by artillery before they do anything. So they're not even making it into rifle range. So, yeah, I'm just getting free and easy kills at this point. So really what I'm doing right now is I'm just pestering him. I'm checking the condition of my units. If my units have good condition, then they can go forward and take some shots. Not really trying to accomplish anything very big. Just in the 40 minutes left, just take as many easy shots, get as many free kills as possible. And a lot of his units are getting very, very small in size. So, okay, he's launching an attack. That's actually really good for me, because I'll catch him in the open. And anytime I can kill his skirmisher units, that's a very good thing. Yeah, it looks like his position is completely collapsing. So you see this great big pile of troops now that just became visible. Um, I don't, at this point, have any intention of taking all of that. I'm going to, normally, you see people charge in and try to get kills or captures. That would take another hour or hour and a half to kill all those guys in there. And yeah, I'm not even a tiny bit interested in. Oh, one of my units, I gave him a go forward command instead of shoot. Uh, yeah, that's a disaster. Like to get him out of there. So hope he doesn't die. That would be bad. That's a detached skirmisher. So yeah, everybody else is just moving forward and applying pressure on his line. And I don't have any intention of going in there and engaging in melee and anything else. Advance my guys into the woods, roll up the artillery. There's only 20 minutes left. Not a great deal can happen here. I can continue to chip away at him. But I'm quite serious. You can, if you charge in there after those guys in the woods, you'll be lucky to get 1-to-1. It's a complete waste of time. Better to save your men for Antietam. So, yeah, that's just a trap. So he's charging with those little tiny units. That's not going to go well for him. So note it, when he hits my first unit, all the units that are around, there are like 4 units, they're going to be able to fire into that melee and just tear him apart. So I let him go ahead and get into melee because his units were very small, and there was a whole circle of my units around that fired into the melee, and yep, both units of his are dead. One shattered and one captured. Yeah, that was suicidal. So my unit that got charged only got probably 1-to-1 exchange because it was a melee and that's all you get. But the supporting fire that was there was overwhelming. So overall, instantly killed 2 units, and yeah, that was great. Now he still has, what was that, 4,000 men, and that's fine. There's 6 minutes to go. I'm moving forward to chip away at him some more. But no, we're not going to go charging in there. We're just going to chip away at him, and I really should probably detach in that wood, in the whole wooded area, use detached skirmishers maybe, and wait until my artillery rolls up at 1 minute and it's over. So yeah, yep, we're just going to shoot at him and let the rest of them get away. We're not. I highly recommend do not go charging into those woods. You will lose a lot of men for no purpose. So after medicine, 625. Yeah, and we got over 11-to-1. It was 11.5-to-1. So that's a good day. So units, yeah, I don't see anyone took a big hit. Everyone got a lot of kills. It looks good. Yeah, some units didn't see very much action. Lots of promotions, a lot of 2-stars. That's good. So captured a bunch of weapons, and yeah, that's a big pile of money. 860,000, closing in on 100,000 men in inventory, and my army took almost no knocks at all. We'll be ready for Antietam cheap and easy. Talk to you at Antietam.